Assalamualaikum and good morning. So for today's class, we will look into the type of cloud services. So many of you may have already heard about cloud computing. The thing is, for some of the uninitiated, they might think that cloud computing is a form of computing that are being done solely on the internet. While that may true on certain parts, the cloud computing consists of several parts, and one of the cloud computing concept is that we have cloud services, which is divided into several category of services. So we have software as a service, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and function as a service. So for many of you, when we spoke about cloud computing, they think that whenever you are getting something from the internet, trying to download something from the internet, or at least uses internet-based storage system like Dropbox or Google Drive. That is a form of cloud computing. So while that may be true, there are several other factors to consider or category that can be used to differentiate each and different aspect of cloud services. So for example, we have software as a service. So in software as a service, this is a type of public cloud computing which deliver applications over the internet through the browser or through the web client. So a client that is connected to the internet, and then it can deliver to you the software over the internet connection. So the most popular software as a service application for business and for personal alike is the Google G Suite and also the Microsoft. To take for example, software as a service. This type of public cloud computing deliver applications over the internet through the browser. So the most popular software as a service application for the business can be found in the Google G Suite and also Microsoft 365. Beside that, you also have other form of software as a service that may be found around you. One of the example is Google Docs. So if you look into Google Docs, you will find out that you can do word processing inside Google Docs, and then you can do forms, and then you can also do spreadsheets, and then database on Google Docs. So this is what we call it as software as a service. And then other form of software as a service is a service for you to store items online and facilitate collaborative work over the internet. So you can have documents shared over the software inside the cloud computing, and then you can have invite other friends to edit on your documents. So this is an example of software as a service. So another form of software as a service is you can also have Google Meet. The Google Meet is also a form of software as a service where it permits you to conduct online meeting over the internet, and then for you to perform something. So software as a service is not to be confused with content delivery system, which is platform or which is a service that deliver content over the internet. So the content delivery system is Netflix. So this is the most by far the most popular one that you can subscribe. And then for those who are keen on playing games on a computer or on a console, you may also have heard about Origin. The Origin is a form of content delivery system which you have to install their web client on your operating system to browse out game, and then you play game which is provided from the internet. And then also Steam. Okay, Steam from Valve. Okay, Steam is also a software for content delivery system that can deliver games which you can purchase game and then it deliver the content straight from the internet to you. So these are content delivery system, which is not software as a service. The most distinguishing feature of the software as a service is its ability to let you do productive it lets you to do productive activity with its software. So likely if you were given a G suit, for example, it is a suit that allows you to do emailings, organize your photos, and then for you to create new things from the software. And then take for example Google Documents, okay, Google Docs. It's allow you to create further documents using Google Docs. You can facilitate productivity. So for NetSplit, Origin, and Steam, it is only merely functioning as a content delivery system where it deliver you content and then you play the content over the internet, and it does not allow you to do anything productive with the content. So it's mostly likely to be locked down. So this is the primary differences between software as a service and content delivery system. Right, next we look into infrastructure as a service. So at the basic level, infrastructure as a service is a public cloud provider which offers storage and compute service on a pay-per-use basis. So the most popular infrastructure as a service are Windows Azure. So if you look over the example, you can see that the infrastructure as a service composed of Microsoft Azure, and then Google Compute Engine, and DigitalOcean, and also Linux. So this Google Compute Engine lets you to rent out their compute time in order to do your processing on the cloud. So there are many things that you can do with the compute engine or compute time over the internet. First and foremost, it lets you to render graphic. If you are 3D graphic artist and you do not have the necessary hardware to render 3D graphics, then a compute engine over the cloud can let you render 3D graphics at a fraction of the time, but you need to pay. So this is the what we call it as the infrastructure as a service. It provides you an infrastructure. Okay? It provides an infrastructure for you to do your work. So it provides this as a service. So because it is service, you need to pay. And then other thing you can do with the compute time over the internet is to do machine learning or AI. So if you want to train AI over the internet, you need a huge CPU power or GPU power. So you use up a lot of processing power, which may not be available to you as an individual user. So compute engine or compute time would provide a cloud services for you with allotment of GPU engine uh, to do a lot of resource intensive processing for you to do your machine learning project. The other uses for compute engine and compute time is for you to do security related tasks like cracking password, which also uses resource intensive processing. This infrastructure as a service will provide you the necessary infrastructure to let you perform all the tasks. So we will look into DigitalOcean and Linode. So DigitalOcean and Linode is also infrastructure as a service provider, which lets you to run virtual private server. So if you want to run a server, but you do not have access to a data center, you may also peruse DigitalOcean and Linode facility to create your own virtual private computer on the internet. So by using infrastructure as a service, you can also run a game server on DigitalOcean, and Linode. So there are many form of game server that you can run over the internet. So if you ever heard about game server hosted on the internet, so this is how they hosted it. So they hosted it on companies that provide infrastructure as a service. Okay, next we look into platform as a service. The platform as a service provides set of services and workflow that specifically target developers. So in both SaaS and infrastructure as a service, it provide an infrastructure for the company to run their businesses. While in software as a service, it usually cater for individuals and also businesses. While platform as a service, it caters mostly for the developers or power users who can use a shared tool, processes, and API to accelerate their development, test, and deployment of application. So, example of platform as service is Salesforce, Heroku, and Force.com. Salesforce also provide a customer relationship management solution for the company that needs them. So there are a lot of multinational companies or national, even national based companies that depends on customer relationship management system. So they want to keep track of their customers, meet with their customers' need, and even address their customer problem and their what the customer wants from them, and in order to deliver the best service to serve their customers. So Salesforce, Force.com are one of the most popular public cloud platform as a service. So let's take a look on further example of platform as a service. We have AWS or Amazon Web Service, Elastic Beanstalk, Windows Azure, Heroku, Force.com, and then Google App Engine, OpenShift, and so on. So these are the example of platform as a service which provide a platform for the developer and then platform for the company to enhance their own businesses. So I think that's all for explanation for today. So be sure that you understand and able to differentiate in between software as a service, infrastructure as a service, and platform as a service. So be seeing you back with the next topic, which is content management system.